Hello friends, and
Enemies.
today we're looking at the Marvel Legends series X-Men Wolverine 90s animated series, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and that was quite the mouthful. Oddly enough, you will not see any of that on this packaging. I'd say it's minimalist, but it's really not, because there's a lot going on. So it's the version of Wolverine we see in the 90s animated show, complete in this nifty little VHS kind of box, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. So yeah, actually, I am a big fan of plastic-free packaging. The less plastic, the better. You're already producing a ton of plastic by making these things, but at least toys aren't single-use, you know, you get a lot of reuse out of them. But packaging just gets thrown away to sit in a landfill for 10,000 years. So plastic-free good is what I'm trying to say. The X-Men animated series was a little before my time, so I never really watched any of it until recently. So I'm not super familiar with this version of Wolverine, but I know the main stuff. Don't give it to children under 3 years old. If you give it to children under 3 years old, they'll probably become mutants, and then you might not love them anymore. You know, because racism. I'm very curious about this because there are 3 reviews on Hasbro Pulse's website as of now, and only one is good, and all it says is dope, pathetic, cash grab, utilizing nostalgia, scathing. They didn't like it much. But there was another review that just said dope. So maybe it'll be dope instead of trash, like that other person said. Yeah, so this is what Hasbro has been doing for their Fortnite figures, too, is wrapping it in this wax paper. Or, well, wrapping the accessories. But in this instance, Wolverine himself is wrapped in the paper. Keep the box, because that's nice. And yeah, I guess some people are upset that you can't see into the packaging to see what he looks like. Which is a concern, I mean, honestly, but I really like the plastic-free stuff. His accessories come in this little wax paper bag. Okay, first thing I'm noticing right off the bat is that he's not as cel-shaded as I thought he would be. I mean, you get a little bit, like, on the neck and right here. You get some shadow, but it's really only on the yellow parts of his uniform. There's none on his skin. There's a little bit on the blue parts, right here, right here, right here, but none on his boots. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just, I was expecting it to be a little bit more heavily cel-shaded. You know, there are a few toys out now that do that cel-shaded look, and they are, I mean, they look fantastic. Like the Fugitoid that NECA came out with, super cel-shaded. Looked fantastic. This one is just a little lighter on that. I also noticed that he's got like a spike of plastic sticking up on his head. Probably could be removed with an X-Acto knife. What do you call this? Eye mask? His flat flaps are so huge. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with the 90s cartoons, so are they supposed to be that huge? They're enormous. So anyway, I am sure this is reuse of another Wolverine, just with a different color scheme. There have been so many Wolverines. So many. I mean, not just from Hasbro Marvel Legends, but just across the board. So many Wolverines. He's a popular guy. Angry. Short. Not angry because he's short, just angry and short. Adamantium claws are a soft rubber, so they will not injure you grievously. And yeah, I'm kind of missing out on extra paint on his arms and face, just like everywhere his skin is exposed. It just seems a little bare. Like the sculpting is there, but the paint just isn't. And this texture on the arm, I don't have any other Wolverine figures with me to compare it to, but this texture weirds me out big time. Like, it's either supposed to be unpainted hair, which would make sense, or it's just like striations in the skin, like stretched skin because of the muscles being so big. And that is real weird to me. Like, he's already got hugely exaggerated muscles, and that's fine, he's a mutant, whatever. That texture, man. His articulation seems really nice, though. Got a ton of movement on the head. Look at that chin to chest. You've got some deep flex in and out at the shoulders. And also what's really cool is that the shoulder pads are on a pivot, so you can move the arm around, in theory, without running into any problems here. Then when you move it back down, just pop that back up. Really cool. Innovative is the word, I think. Innovative. Bicep swivel and huge bicep. My goodness. His bicep is almost as large as his waist. Very chunky double elbow. It looks pretty weird with the pins and against those giant muscles. And then it doesn't really even do much because his muscles are so huge they just run into each other. But of course we've got flex and rotation at the wrists. Deep crunch in, not so much crunch back. Plenty of waist movement, and that's hidden by his belt. Ooh, very nice leg movement too. The only thing that's getting in the way of going any higher are his muscles themselves. Rotation at the thigh. Double knee. You can accomplish a little bit more with that than you could with the double elbow. And we've got up and down on the ankle. but not much more than that, actually. I will say on camera, he does look a lot more cel-shaded than he does in person, because I'm looking at my viewfinder and it does look like a cel-shaded figure, but in person, it's just, the effect just isn't quite the same. So let's look at his accessories. 2 hands, so you can swap them out for the adamantium claw hands. An alternate angry head. And of course, the picture of Scott and Jean, so you can recreate the infamous meme. And what is extra cool about this is that this actually comes apart. This is a separate piece, so you could take any picture you wanted, shrink it down to this size, and put it in Wolverine's picture frame. It's just a cool detail. Be careful you don't lose that picture of Jean and Scott, though. Then again, if you did, it wouldn't be a big problem, because you could just print out a new one. I'm sure this image is all over the internet. Put a picture of your favorite Blorbos in there, your favorite Skrunklies. I don't know, I'm using Tumblr terms now. Blorbos and Skrunklies. Blorbos and Skrunklies mean, like, characters you really love. I don't think I needed to explain that. Sometimes I have difficulty switching out the heads and the hands on these Marvel Legends, but his went really smoothly, so that's nice. No problems there. I do have a problem, however, with his hands here. As you can see, they are just regular hands painted blue, because you can see the fingernails and stuff. I mean, you're not going to notice that on the shelf from afar, but up close it's a little bothersome. So now when I look at him, I'm just going to be thinking that he blew himself.
No, I'm afraid I just blew myself.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
So here we have him compared to some other Marvel Legends. We've got Nightcrawler, the Thing, and Scott. I don't know why I used everyone's team names except for Scott, who I just called Scott and not Cyclops, but that's besides the point. Scale seems good. I feel like Wolverine should be a little bit shorter than he is compared to his best friend Nightcrawler, but overall they look pretty good together. See, his cell shading is so faint that it doesn't even really look strange with non-cell shaded figures. So yeah, if you like Wolverine, if you like the meme, cool figure. Great box. Little light on the cell shading, but really nice engineering as far as articulation goes. So that is going to do it for today. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome, and I will see you guys on the next one.